That would be like a white person, I don't know, using the N-word, talking about somebody black, then says, well, I really didn't mean it, and then he speaks at a Klan rally. Catherine Ramble and Scott Jennings on CNN last night got into somewhat of a royal rumble in speaking about this. Now, Scott Jennings will defend anybody that is on Donald Trump's side, no matter what they do or what they say. Scott Jennings has zero credibility. I think he's an awful human being. But he reached new levels on CNN yesterday. Catherine Ramble is a wonderful journalist. And the only reason why I was watching CNN last night is because she was on the panel, and she gives it to Scott Jennings. Now, listen to Scott Jennings defend Elon Musk with all that context that I've given you about him talking to the AFD days after this controversy where many people have accused him of using the Sieg Heil. Listen to Scott Jennings on CNN with a Jewish woman on the panel defend Elon Musk.
So he has a long record of supporting the Jewish people, number one. Number two, anybody who is asserting this thing he did on the stage the other day was a Sieg Heil, which I just heard you say, lawyer up maybe, because absolute ridiculous thing to say. Under no circumstances.
The Nazis in Germany thought it was a Sieg Heil.
Under no
circumstances
was he doing anything other than expressing enthusiastically.
Why don't you do it on TV right now?
His appreciation.
Why don't you do it on TV right now if you think it's so?
Number three.
Now.
Yeah, there you go. Why don't you do it on TV right now? Now, of course, he didn't. And the woman you hear speaking there is Catherine Ramble. She is a great journalist, Washington Post. She's also Jewish. And Jennings is defending Elon Musk, just like he defends Donald Trump and anybody else that is on Donald Trump's side, because he is a right-wing hack. But again, this is where Catherine Ramble gets him. Have a listen to this conversation now. Continue where Catherine says, again, why don't you just do it on TV right now if you don't think it's wrong?
This salute trutherism is outrageous. This is the most.
Do it right now on TV.
This is the biggest conspiracy.
Right now on TV.
It's crazy.
If you think it's normal, if you think this is a normal way to greet people, do it right now on TV. Why won't you?
Because he knows it is a Sieg Heil. Because he knows the truth, but he lies on TV. She got him good there. If you don't think there's anything wrong with doing what Elon Musk did, and I actually believe what she is saying is the truth, I do believe it was a Sieg Heil. You just look at Elon Musk's past and the things he said about the Holocaust and Jews in the past. If you don't think, Scott, there's anything wrong with doing a Sieg Heil, then why don't you, or you don't think it's a Sieg Heil, then why don't you do it right now on television? Scott Jennings didn't do it. He's a coward, and he knows. He knows what Elon Musk did was wrong. Worse than wrong. And here's the point that Jennings was trying to make, and he just completely embarrassed himself last night. He admits that he doesn't know anything about German politics. Have a listen to this.
You're saying 50% of Republicans deny the existence of the Holocaust? Because that's the case for AFD members.
I don't know anything about German politics. I'm not
an
expert on German politics. I am telling you, I'm here to stand up against the defamatory statements against Elon Musk.
And then I think we have to
go. So first of all, if he says he doesn't know anything about German politics, then why are you defending Elon Musk speaking in front of the AFD? And again, this is somebody that has done her homework in Catherine Ramble. She's 150% correct. Many members in the AFD are self-admitted Nazis themselves. They're Holocaust deniers. And while Scott Jennings has no idea what he's talking about, and I would argue he doesn't just know nothing about German politics, he doesn't know anything about American politics either. And the fact that CNN continues to pay this guy, this imbecile, who's now defending the Sieg Heil, that's basically what he's doing. He knows exactly what Elon Musk was doing. How CNN still pays this guy, in my personal opinion, is absolutely and positively embarrassing. Good job, Catherine Ramble. Scott Jennings, you are a despicable turd, is what you are. You are hateful, you are bigoted, and you defend the indefensible on CNN every day. Whether you're blaming DEI hires for the fires in California or you're blaming migrants for all the issues, you defend Donald Trump again and again. And the statement that Scott Jennings says on CNN, this was a mandate and the American people have spoken. For all you idiots out there that are MAGA supporters and for all you morons out there that support Donald Trump, this was not a mandate. Less than half the people who voted for Donald Trump. What does that mean? That the other half hate Donald Trump like me. This is not a mandate, and half of the country, or at least half of the people that voted, do not want Donald Trump in the White House. So this is not some sort of mandate, and all the American people have spoken. Yes, Donald Trump won the election. He got less than half of the votes. So stop it with this nonsense that, well, the American people were willing to put January 6th to the side. No, at least half of America has not put it off to the side. At least half of America does not want Donald Trump in the White House. At least half of America is on the right side of history. And you embarrass yourself on CNN every day because you are a right-wing hack who attacks transgenders and brown people every single day. And in this case, you are defending a Sieg Heil. I'm just going to continue to say it. And if he wants to lawyer up with me, come right at me, Scott. You are defending the Sieg Heil because that is exactly what Elon Musk did. How do we know this for sure? Well, Brian, you really don't know what's in Elon Musk's heart. Oh, okay. Well, he decided to speak in front of the AFD days after this controversy. Days after. That would be like a white person, I don't know, using the N-word, talking about somebody black, then says, well, I really didn't mean it, and then he speaks at a Klan rally. That is the analogy that I will use here, and that is exactly what Elon Musk has done. Those people in the AFD are a bunch of Jew haters and Nazis is what they are. And Elon Musk decided, even days after this controversy, that these are the people that I'm going to talk to. No, he didn't go to synagogues. He didn't talk to rabbis apologizing to them. He spoke in front of the AFD because that is who Elon Musk is. He is a Jew hater. He hates minorities. He hates immigrants. He wants, unless they're an immigrant that's working for him that he can use as a slave, he hates you. He hates middle-class Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck, but he wants them all to use his businesses. He wants them all to be on X. You are the media now. Unless you criticize him, then he'll take your blue check mark away. Then he'll demonetize you. He is a dictator or a wannabe dictator, just like Donald J. Trump. They are two of the same, just with different skin color. One is an orange orangutan, liable sexual abuser, 34-count felon, and the other one happens to be the richest man on the planet whose own trans daughter hates him. They are two of the same, ladies and gentlemen. That was a Sieg Heil. End of conversation. So I want to play for you an example of what I'm talking about, where the far right, or idiots like Scott Jennings on CNN, is making it appear that Donald Trump somehow is victorious here in this tariff war with Mexico and Canada. And he's lying. I want you to listen to Scott Jennings praising Donald Trump for getting 10,000 troops to the border, which the president of Mexico had promised. But there's a caveat to this. Have a listen.
To change
No,
the subject
I'm not.
to Colombia.
I'm wrapping it all together. It's all part of the same thing.
Let's go back to what Trump got for threatening a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada. What did he get?
On Mexico, he got a permanent set of troops, not temporary, just during surges. He got permanent troops. And on Canada, let me tell you what he got. Let me tell you what he got.
Hold up. You can't just insert your own qualifications into this. Where does it say that it's permanent?
The White House told me tonight that the commitment they have from Mexico is that they will
Do you
put
know how many? Do you know how many troops Mexico had on the on
it
the
goes up
border
and down.
last
It goes
year?
up and down.
15,000.
It goes up and down. It's temporary. So now they're getting a
okay, let me
permanent
ask you:
force.
Is 10,000 more
Is
or
permanent
less
is permanent
than
better than temporary?
15,000?
You know what's more?
Better than temporary.
So Scott Jennings has no idea what he's talking about. Either that or he's just a blatant liar. It could be both. The president of Mexico had put 15,000 troops at the border under Joe Biden. But if you listen to Scott Jennings, he's making it sound like Trump was victorious because she agreed to put 10,000 troops at the border. You know what that's like saying? This is how stupid this conversation is. It's like saying, well, I am a local business owner, and I was charging people $15 for a sandwich. I'm getting the same business now, but now I'm charging $10 for the sandwich. I mean, that's really what we're talking about here. It's so ridiculous, but yet Scott Jennings is trying to pivot, and he's trying to make it sound like Donald Trump is victorious. Now, listen to Scott Jennings when he gets fact-checked on the Colombia situation, because Donald Trump is also making it like he was victorious with Colombia when they gave us nothing. Have a listen to this.
Behavior modification. He's trying to modify the behavior of our neighbors, and he's already having some success with these strategies. If you look at what he did with Colombia, if you look at what the news was over
Nothing happened with Colombia
He took the
either.
people. If you look,
They were making deportation flights.
I love this show.
No.
This is my favorite show. It's
Because
called
you're lying.
Let's All Scream.
No, it's called informing our audience.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Colombia
everybody.
was already
Hold on,
taking deportation flights.
Scott, I
weren't
do know
gonna
that
take
you
them,
love
and
this
then he
part of this.
imposed
I
tariff,
know that
and
you
then
love that
No.
part of
Well, I know I'm
it.
right.
No, you're not right. They got nothing from Colombia. Nothing. When I say they, I mean the Trump administration. They got nothing from Colombia. Zero. Mexico already had 15,000 people at the border, and now they're saying, all right, we'll give you 10,000. And when it comes to Trudeau, the 1.2 or I believe $1.3 billion he said he was going to put towards border security was announced back in December. And he said it would take several months to implement. So Trump caused a lot of stress. He tarnished some of our relationship with some of our allies for nothing. We got nothing in return. And the MAGA morons are imbeciles, again, trying to spin it as if Donald Trump, the great negotiator, did something good. And I want to play you one more clip from CNN, because this is your typical MAGA. Now, her name, she's a congresswoman. Her name is Nicole Malliotakis, right? She's on national television last night, sitting across from Scott Jennings. And they believe every single word that Donald Trump says. The $50 million condom contribution that allegedly Joe Biden made to Hamas was a debunked lie. But you have a sitting congresswoman who is repeating those lies live on CNN last night. Have a listen to this.
You have these bureaucrats sitting at these agencies. They come before Congress. We have hearings. We try to get to the bottom of where this money is going. $50 million for condoms in Gaza, for example.
Congresswoman.
No, but these are real things. You're rolling your eyes like as if these are not actual
Hold
line
on,
items. These are actual line
Congresswoman,
items.
We know that there was not $50 million spent for condoms in Gaza.
Okay.
There was $0 spent on
Okay.
condoms in the Middle East. That is a complete
So
falsehood and a lie.
so
That
the White House
president-
put
I'm not
that
even
out
gonna
there
blame-
as a-
I'm not
as
going to
a
blame
false
you
statement.
for it. I'm going to blame.
wasn't Gaza in the
I'm going to
Middle
blame
East.
the
Well,
White House.
so
I'm
where
going to
did it
blame
go?
the
Where did
president.
it go?
Congresswoman, I'm going to blame the president who upped the dollar amount to $100 million. It is false.
Well, it's
Okay,
50 million as far as I
It
know,
is
but
false. There is zero. The answer is zero.
How is
There's
it-
none.
so-
So you
as a-
cannot use that as an example.
But she did. This is a sitting congresswoman. There are members in office today that are still spewing the lies because Donald Trump said it was 50 million, then 100 million. It was zero. It never happened. It's a lie. And why is Donald Trump doing that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he said he was going to end the war in the Ukraine within 24 hours. How's that working out, Mr. President? So what does he do? He comes up with this weird condom lie. A guy that probably never wore condoms in his entire life is talking about condoms in Gaza. I find that to be very interesting. He's doing it because he wants to people to get off the actual real topic, which is the war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin won't even take his calls. He hasn't even spoke to Putin, my understanding, since he became president. All I have to do is pick up the phone and I can end this war within 24 hours. I knew it wasn't going to happen. So now they're talking about a lie about condoms in Gaza and this moron, and I'm sorry, that's what I'm going to call her. Anybody who believes anything that Donald Trump says today is a moron. And sadly, some of them are representatives who are elected officials like this woman, Nicole Malliotakis, live on CNN spreading a lie about $50 million worth of condoms or $100 million worth of condoms sent to Hamas. It's a lie. She's an imbecile. And anybody else who spreads Donald Trump's lies, you're despicable. And then you have people like Scott Jennings on CNN, who I do talk about from time to time because he is just an absolute right-wing clown. And I shared this story with all of you guys yesterday. Dean Cain, I really haven't heard his name since the mid-90s. And Dean Cain somehow puts out a statement touting the fact that he's going to be an ICE agent, as if anybody cares, number one. Number two, it's dangerous. And number three, morons like Scott Jennings are trying to make the argument, I'm not making this up because I'm going to play it for you, that somehow Dean Cain publicly speaking out, touting that he's going to be an ICE agent, somehow will help other people get recruited to ICE. He's actually trying to make that argument. Have a listen to this.
It's the new ICE
In the
agents.
Superman community?
And so,
I mean, that's Dean.
But I'm just telling you, like,
He's effectively going to be an honorary sheriff.
Well,
but having someone like that out touting it, talking about, hey, this is a thing you can do for your government. This is public service. It's going to help them recruit, and they have a bunch of people to recruit.
Scott,
Yeah.
it's not 95. Nobody gives a Sam Hill what Dean Cain
You
does.
may not, but in
Dean,
the conservative, you don't, but in the conservative community,
Dean
you know
ain't worked in a while. Dean needs the 50,000. That's what got Dean off the couch. Dean ain't worked in a while. Dean gonna take that money and buy some crypto with it. Dean needs the 50. That's what Dean is on.
He's right about that. I want you to think about this for a second. Scott Jennings is trying to make the argument, and listen, Jennings is a complete clown, but he's trying to make the argument that Dean Cain somehow touting the fact that he's going to be an ICE agent it's a public service. So help me understand this, PTL Nation. Is it a public service when you don't identify yourself as an ICE agent and you cover your face and you arrest individuals in this country that have been here for decades, walking outside of a courtroom trying to do it the right way? Is that providing a public service? Separating families from one another? Many of these people, nonviolent criminals that have been in this country for decades. Is that providing a public service? Or are we going back to Nazi Germany? Because that is not the country that I want to live in. And somehow, idiots like Scott Jennings on CNN want to make it sound like this is some sort of luxury. That this is a good thing for the country. It's a public service to have people across the country with no law enforcement experience at all, because to my knowledge, Dean Cain doesn't have any, to say that I'm going to be an ICE agent because I want to deport all those bad illegals. I want you guys to think about that. Is that providing a public service? Is it? Is that the country that you want to live in? I'm not just talking to Democrats here. I'm talking to MAGA supporters. Is this the country that you want to live in? Is this the country that you want? Because Scott Jennings and many of the MAGA Republicans are salivating over this. Seeing all these brown people, all these images of all these brown people being separated from their families. So many of them nonviolent criminals. They're being arrested outside of courtrooms in front of a Home Depot. Is that what you want to see? Do you think that's providing a public service? Because that's the verbiage that Scott Jennings used on CNN yesterday. He said it's a public service. You tell me, is that a public service? Is it? Is that providing a public service? I feel for all these families. And I'm amazed to see so many MAGA Republicans out there continuing to gloat and celebrate the fact that so many of these families are getting stripped of their loved ones, some being, sent to, the Gator prison, others being sent to an El Salvador prison and prisons, high maximum security prisons across the country. But somehow, Scott Jennings wants to lead us to believe that this is a public service. That somehow this is good for the country. That somehow Dean Cain saying that he's going to become an ICE agent is going to help recruit others. Is this a joke? Is this a sick joke?